Fire, a dramatic sight with dramatic potential. Every year, fire causes tragic damage to businesses and, sadly, lives. A fire at work has the potential to affect your job, your income, and your health. If a fire has an impact on the operation of the company, customers may go elsewhere. Rover Group is fortunate to have in place a highly professional fire service as part of company protection services. This means that most fires can be dealt with quickly and efficiently by experienced associates. However, CPS can only function competently if you play your part. You need to know the procedures to follow should you discover a fire, as well as how to react if the fire alarm sounds. This video explains exactly what you should do in case of fire. Please pay attention. Not only your job and income are at stake, it could be your life. You may discover a fire in a number of ways: by smelling smoke, seeing the fire start, or entering a room where a fire has already begun. However it happens, your first response must always be to alert others and summon help. Break the glass on the nearest fire alarm. The signal will go straight to the CPS control room, which is manned 24 hours a day. Then telephone the emergency number, 999, to help them by giving further details. It's important to keep a clear head, as CPS will need to know the following information: your name and the precise location of the incident, the nature and extent of the fire, the number you're calling from. You should stay on the line until the control centre officer has all the necessary details. To help the response team locate the fire quickly, get someone to wait at the nominated building entrance to guide them to the incident. There'll be some occasions when you can put a fire out yourself. It's vital you use your common sense to decide if you should attempt this. Never put yourself in danger. The rule is safety first. And you must still set off the fire alarm and call 999 prior to tackling the flames. If you can't deal with it yourself, you'll have wasted valuable time and risked lives by not alerting your colleagues and the emergency services. In order to put out a fire, you should be familiar with the fire extinguishers, where they're located and which type you should use. Fire extinguishers are provided in every area, and CPS ensures that they're maintained and ready for use. Please have a look at the extinguishers in your area and check how to use them. Red extinguishers and hose reels use water. They're for use with normal combustible materials like wood, paper and cloth. They mustn't be used with electrical or flammable liquid fires. The jet should be directed at the base of the flames and kept moving across the fire. Fawn extinguishers are AFFF, aqueous film-forming foam, and can be used on flammable liquid fires. The jet shouldn't be aimed directly onto the burning liquid, as it may splash and spread the fire. When liquid is in a container, direct the jet at the edge of the container and let the foam build up so that it gradually covers the liquid. AFFF extinguishers can also be used on combustible materials in the same way as water extinguishers, and shouldn't be used on live electrical equipment. Black extinguishers use carbon dioxide for putting out small combustible and flammable liquid fires. These are also safe to use on live electrical equipment. The discharge horn should be directed at the base of the flames and the jet moved across the area of the fire. CO2 extinguishers reduce oxygen levels, so ventilate the area as soon as possible. Blue extinguishers use dry powder and are ideal for use on flammable liquid fires. They can also be used on low-voltage live electrical equipment. The discharge nozzle should be directed at the base of the flames. Using a sweeping motion, drive the flames towards the far edge until they go out. In addition to extinguishers, fire blankets can be used to put out burning clothing and small fires which involve burning liquid. Remove the blanket from its case and place it over the fire, shielding your hands from the flames. Do not lift the blanket to see if the fire is out, as an inrush of oxygen may cause a violent reignition. When you use an extinguisher, be aware that some of them will make a loud noise when they're set off. Make sure you use the right extinguisher for the type of fire you're tackling, and check how to set them off. Even if you think that the fire is out, be aware that there's a possibility of gases reigniting, so don't approach the area. The emergency service will ensure the site is safe. If someone else has discovered a fire, you'll be alerted by the fire alarm. There are two types of alarm to listen out for. The first is a single-stage alarm, which is a continuous note like this. If you hear this, you should leave the building by the nearest safe exit and make your way to the assembly point. Your assembly point is displayed on the evacuation notice in your area. Make sure you know where it is. If you're outside your normal work area, go to the nearest assembly point and make yourself known to the fire marshal. The same applies to any visitors you're responsible for. The second alarm is a dual-stage alarm, which is used in larger buildings and areas where there is a minimal risk in the early stages of a fire. It's an intermittent note, like this. This alarm indicates that unless the fire is in your area, you should remain in your workplace. However, you should be prepared to evacuate in case the need arises. If this happens, the alarm will change to a continuous note, so make your way to the assembly point. In the event of evacuation, don't run. Don't stop to collect your personal belongings. Don't use lifts. In no circumstances should you re-enter the building until you've been given the all clear. A senior fire marshal with overall responsibility is appointed for each building. Sweeper fire marshals supervise evacuations of their department, keep lists of employees, and search their area. At all times, gangways and doorways should be kept clear of obstructions so that you and your colleagues can leave via the shortest and safest route during an emergency. Fire alarms, extinguishers and evacuation notices should also be kept clear of obstruction. There are certain things you must know. Do you know the type of fire alarm in your area and where it is? Do you know who your fire marshal is? Do you know your fire evacuation assembly point? Do you know where the fire exits in your area are? When a fire occurs, there's no time to find out this information, so find out now and check the details from time to time. If you know what to do, it might just save your life. On average, there are around 400 fires in Rover each year. Many of these could have been prevented. There are things you can do to ensure that the danger of fire is as limited as possible. Most fire prevention is a matter of common sense. It's important to have an awareness of potential hazards and what to do to stop them flaring up into a full-scale fire. You're responsible for your own area of work, and you should keep it clean and tidy. Good housekeeping will ensure that fire risk is minimized. Combustible and flammable material should be kept to a minimum, stored safely and removed frequently, particularly in areas where heat and sparks are produced. If leakages or spillages of dangerous liquids occur, make sure that these are cleaned up immediately. Contact CPS so that appropriate measures can be taken, even if you deal with it yourself. Machinery, electrical equipment and services should be maintained and regularly inspected. If they aren't, faults could develop, leading to overheating, sparks and other hazards. Hot work permits are required for cutting and welding work. The company procedure must be followed for these jobs to ensure safe working. CPS will need to know about damaged or discharged fire extinguishers so that they can be replaced or refilled. Many fires are simply caused by a lack of awareness in people. Situations which have caused fires include misuse of flammable liquids, frayed wiring on electrical equipment, smoking in prohibited areas, and portable heaters too close to combustible material.